Welcome back to Video Rental Chaos. Today, we're gonna find out if it's metal mayhem or just a rusty mess. That's right, because I stopped off at my local video store and I rented RoboCop 3. Because apparently, cyborg cops never retire. Well, I hope you don't have stock in the Omni Corporation, because after this review, RoboCop 3 ain't gonna be worth shit. On Video Rental Chaos, we have reviewed both RoboCop 1 and 2. People will chime in and say, yeah, 1 and 2 are awesome films, but Part 3? What are you, high on crack? That movie is garbage. I've held off on watching this film all the way through till today. And baby, I wish I could have waited another 3 years. Normally I can find some good things to say about a movie, but woof! This one is a stinker from the get-go. So just like Peter Weller, let's jump off this sinking ship and let's get right on into RoboCop 3. I assume we were picking up right after RoboCop 2. The OCP are in the midst of completing their plan to take over Detroit and are hoping to complete their vision with the creation of New Delta City. The old man is dead, because God forbid they get him to come back. OPC is now partnered with a Japanese corporation. They're in the process of evicting many families from a ghetto called Cadillac Heights in Detroit, Michigan. Now, with the creation of a private security force called the Urban Rehabilitation, or also known as Rehab, we see a young kid named Nico who loses his parents and is abducted by the resistance group. This resistance group head to the police armory in order to obtain weapons to fight Rehab. Well, they get the attention of the Detroit Police Department, who apparently were all on break at the same time. Eventually, we find RoboCop on the heels of the resistance, but he defies the orders and returns to help his fellow cops fight off these local street punks. It appears that still RoboCop has his memory in full, but one of the guys from the OCP Corporation wants Dr. Lazarus to remove his memory to make sure another incident like this does not happen again. RoboCop and Lewis end up in a showdown with Rehab. As well, they don't want any part of removing these Detroit citizens. The head leader, McDaggett, kills Lewis in the process, and RoboCop is then saved by the resistance group after taking a beating. He was damaged during the scuffle and is on life support. The resistance is able to gain the help of Dr. Lazarus to begin the repair of RoboCop. She is able to delete one of RoboCop's main directives. Lazarus, for the most part, becomes Nico's friend as she too wants to fight Rehab. Once RoboCop is A-OK, he begins to fight Rehab and OCP by himself, as an arrest warrant was put out for RoboCop. He tracks down McDaggett in order to take him out, but he gets away. But McDaggett was able to gain the information needed from Kuntz, who is not happy with the way the resistance is operating these days. The Japanese provide OCP with a ninja robot in order to track down RoboCop. The Rehab descent on the residents, taking out most and or imprisoning them. RoboCop returns back to find the aftermath of what occurred. This is where the ninja robot comes to fight RoboCop. It's back and forth, and you think that RoboCop is done for, but he makes a miraculous recovery and kills the robot ninja. We see that Nico has gained access to where Lazarus was being held. Nico fucks over OCP by using his hacking skills to show that OCP had created all the crime in order to drive Detroit into the ground. Rehab takes control and decides that they need to end this once and for all in order to drive out all the remaining citizens in Cadillac Heights. They want the Detroit police to take part, but they say, fuck you, and drop their badges and join up with the Detroit citizens. Rehab then has no choice to enlist the street punks in order to help them. RoboCop uses the jetpack that was shown earlier in the film and flies in and helps take out Rehab. He then shows up at the OCP headquarters and takes on not one, but 2 more ninja bots. With the help of Nico and Lazarus, RoboCop is able to defeat both bots. As they're defeated, the bot's self-destruct system activates. With little time to spare, RoboCop is able to get Nico and Lazarus out of the building right in the nick of time, as they leave Daggett to die in the fire. We end the film with the head of the Japanese corporation showing up on scene, and he bows to RoboCop, obviously showing him some respect. As he fires the old man's replacement, RoboCop is left with his new family as well. You just can't keep a good RoboCop down. Wow. What the fuck did Fred Dekker and Frank Miller do to RoboCop with this third installment? They basically took away everything that made the first two RoboCop movies a success. First off, RoboCop is not even on screen for the first 15 minutes of the film. It's obvious from the get-go when you hear him speak that ain't Peter Weller, reprising the role of RoboCop. The old man, whom at the end of the second film just gets away with murder, apparently is dead with little explanation. Sure, you have Lewis's character returning, and the henchman from OCP, and plus the Detroit police chief, but damn, they kill Lewis off just like that. I hate this story. I get they were trying to lay out a story for RoboCop eventually now having some kind of new family with the kid Nico and Lazarus, but damn, they had no fun TV commercial cutaways, and the story of rehab with the new OCP CEO and this Daggett character just falls flat. Plus we get ninja robots. That part is kind of cool, but with all the new inclusions, they just piss on what was built in part 1 and part 2. Like I said at the beginning of the review, normally I can find some sort of enjoyment in any movie, but this story just plain sucks. And Fred Dekker unfortunately takes the hit on this one. I like Fred Dekker. Monster Squad and Night of the Creeps are two of my favorites, but RoboCop 3 can eat dirt for all I care. I'm glad we are now complete with reviewing the entire trilogy, but I should have waited until 2030 to review this one. Don't watch this movie. Watch part 1 and 2 and call it a day. So until they decide to bring back Peter Weller and do a proper RoboCop movie, I'll see you at the video store.